The Milwaukee Bucks in the national spotlight. I'm Matt Smith. Today on Upfront, with the Bucks playing for a national championship, we'll look at the future of Fiserv Forum and the Deer District.
The real win will be how do we develop the rest of the Deer District with density, with people living there and working there, to really make that the living room of Milwaukee.
What are taxpayers getting for their money? Then, where and when betting on professional sports could be legal in Wisconsin. And Wisconsin's election investigation.
We are not going to overturn the 2020 election. That's not what this is about.
I'll ask Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos what his hired investigators are looking for.
Taking on the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with your host, Adrian Pedersen.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Smith in Milwaukee.
And I'm Adrian Pedersen joining you from Phoenix. We are here in town covering the Bucks as they try to win a championship for the first time since 1971. You know, Bucks fans have paid hundreds, some even thousands, to get inside here at Phoenix Suns Arena. And Matt, I am looking forward to being back with the series in Milwaukee and leaving behind sweltering Phoenix.
Just a little warm there in Phoenix. Adrian, the excitement coming back here to Milwaukee. We're going to check back in with you a little bit later in the program, but Milwaukee has Bucks fever. More than 20,000 fans packing the Deer District, the arena around Fiserv Forum, every night the Bucks are playing. Visit Milwaukee estimates the city and its businesses reaping $3 million every home game. The Bucks' success has put a national spotlight on the city, the team, and their arena. It took a lot of effort and a public-private partnership to build Fiserv Forum. We're talking about the payoff from that investment with Bucks president Peter Feigin. Hey, Peter, really good to see you. The Bucks are going to return to Milwaukee Sunday night for Game 3. As you look out into the arena Sunday night and look into the Deer District, you'll be thinking what?
You know, it's so emotional. You kind of, on one level, on the basketball side, you just really work for this. You know, every day, every minute to have a chance to win a championship. You know, that this is sports, so we go for a championship. And then kind of on the business community side, like we sit there and just say, you know, if in our wildest dreams, if we could have painted a picture, this is what it would have looked like inside the arena, outside the arena. I think there's another dash of kind of like excitement just to help accelerate the city out of the pandemic, you know, on an economic basis. So a lot of great things happening with the NBA Finals.
It was 6 years ago this month that the state legislature, after some pretty intense negotiations, approved state funding for the project. 6 years later, as we sit here today in the midst of the finals, what type of return are Wisconsin taxpayers seeing on this investment?
Yeah, it's so interesting because, of course, we've been kind of reminiscing of the time. So you think about just on the baseline of financial, like beyond just the income taxes of pro athletes, which kind of pays for itself, kind of the economic ripple effect of development, like specifically in and around Fiserv Forum, like the increment of property tax increases, the jobs that it has created. And then, you know, of course, that's the quantitative. The qualitative is this kind of great sense of pride, this kind of meeting place in the center of Milwaukee, you know, for the state of Wisconsin, and kind of a real sense of community. You know, when you look out at the plaza during a game and see 30,000 people, it is 30,000 people of the state of Wisconsin, all races, all genders, all ages. It's pretty awesome.
This has been a remarkable season for a number of reasons. One, coming out of the global pandemic. What did the pandemic do to the Bucks' finances?
Oh, devastated, much like the rest of the world. I mean, we went from, you know, kind of generating revenue to zero, like in one day. You know, the nice thing is we had the advantage of knowing NBA basketball would be back at some point, which a lot of businesses did not have the comfort of knowing. So it was really like how to survive, you know, this period of time and really kind of forge a path that hadn't been forged before. But the NBA, with the bubble, with the playoffs last year, coming into an augmented season this year, you know, you really, it's been extraordinary to kind of come out of this and be where we are today.
Yeah, I was going to say, what does a trip to the finals do to the bottom line?
Oh, it is significant. I mean, not just in ticket revenue, which makes up on an average team, you know, 40 to 50% of revenue, but increased sponsorships. It also, like, we have all the ancillary businesses in and around the Deer District that helps pump up as well. And then, you know, for us, what really is your long-term growth is your fan affinity. So how do we keep gathering fans, and how do we build online retail? How do we build awareness for other events at Fiserv Forum? And how do we, back to the value, this is kind of our value proposition to development, to concerts, to everything you can imagine as we sell this arena in the city.
Take me into the future. In the next 5 years, what does the arena look like? What is it hosting, and what does the Deer District and the properties around it look like?
Well, I'm probably if you asked everybody that works in the organization, they don't want to hear this, but as a delusional optimist, I think this arena should be doing 250 plus events a year, which would dramatically kind of change the environment in and around in Milwaukee, really become one of the key venues in the country as a stop in the Midwest, whether that's for family shows, whether it's events, whether it's concerts, certainly Marquette basketball and Bucks basketball. And then really kind of the real win will be how do we develop the rest of the Deer District with density, with people living there and working there. We've got a hotel breaking ground in the next couple months in a big way. And really, how do we continue to develop events outside the arena? So what are ways to create festivals, events, meeting places, gathering times to really make that the living room of Milwaukee?
This past year, the Bucks and the team and the ownership have made an effort to be visible off the court in fighting for social justice issues, voting rights. There was some pushback from some fans and just some general voters. Was there any risk in the team's approach to this, and what's the payoff?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as you can imagine, in the last few years, everything has been polarizing politically. So if you take a stand, like you are certainly going to get pushback. I think the one great thing about the NBA and about ownership and management is like we've stayed true to really kind of to the real kind of moment. I think I'll always remember. Hopefully, the championship moment will be the thing I put ahead of this. But when we boycotted the game a year ago, in the bubble, to pause pro sports, for a moment around the world and really give notice to social justice and where it was the Bucks were kind of on the forefront. And I think that's like part of our DNA and the fabric of our organization and it helps. I mean, very simply, we're about equality, and we are not shy to step forward and kind of, fight for that.
Bucks President Peter Feigin. Peter, hey, really good to see you. Best of luck, and thanks for your time.
Go Bucks.
Coming up, Wisconsin's election investigation. I'll ask Assembly Speaker Robin Vos about the investigators he's hired and when the public will see their report. And later, professional sports betting could become legal in Wisconsin.